Hello, everybody. Welcome to Romancing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And we're romancing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique with the boxers. This is heavy stuff. We're here with Mr. Joel Lewis. We're not really related yet, but we might find that out at the end of the show. And Mr. Sebastian Steele. Mr. Sebastian Steele is from Carriacou. And Sebastian, my mom's from Carriacou, so we started a connection already. I am going to start though. Mr. Joel, Joel. What you name Joel? Did your parents name
Joel?
Joel. Well,
yeah.
You were named for success. I mean, a name like Joel, you had to be in boxing or something. You had to be, yeah.
Correct.
So you are Joel. All right. So I'll start with you because I tried to search you up, and the only thing I saw were pictures. And you told me you were the 2017 national coach for basketball. So I want you to tell me a little bit about how you got there, and then you tell me about your friend your friend Sebastian, and we'll bring Sebastian in. Is that okay?
Okay. Just to remind you, it's boxing, not basketball. Oh, yeah.
I am sorry. Boxing, okay. Joel, boxing. Sebastian, my apologies.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little nervous. Maybe I should have had my gloves on. That's
well, maybe. It's okay.
So, Joel, I apologize. You are a boxer. You were a national boxer. I've done a little bit of research. I don't know why I'm nervous and shaking and so on. And you sent me lots of pictures which you're going to share. But you were the national boxing coach in 2017. So tell me how you got there, and then tell me about your friend Sebastian, who's in Carriacou right now.
All right. Now, I started out boxing from school because I used to be a little bit abused by my dad, to say.
Ooh.
And for somehow when I go at school, I used to try and take my rage out on the children in the class. And, you know, I just been destined to play sport and represent Grenada at the highest level. So at that time, you know, I tried football, I tried cricket, I tried running, which I was good in all of them, but couldn't have make international standards. And because of being this little bad boy in school, fighting, I was introduced to boxing from another boxer in my area. And that was in 1993. And from since then, he took me to the gym and I never turned back. So, and boxing had led me to going all around the world, you know, from winning 3 Caribbean championships, 7 OECS championships, being a Pan American qualifier, silver medalist qualifier in Trinidad, been to various Olympic tournaments and qualifiers, Commonwealth Games, been to 3 Commonwealth Games, Central American Games, Pan American Games, as I said, yeah. And, you know, it took me around the world and I did quite a lot. And, you know, I never look back to say, well, I want to stop, which I always want to give back to it. And, you know, it took me there. And that's why you see at the moment, I stopped boxing, but I went back into coaching, which the way Sebastian comes in, because Sebastian would have traveled with me to Commonwealth Games, Central American Games, qualifiers for Olympics. So he's a 3-star certified IBAC boxing coach right now. I'm a 1-star because when he was the coach, I was the boxer. So he way advanced. So I'm following behind him now. And that's we have a long history and a long story going back, dating back to boxing. Sebastian himself is a heavyweight champion as well. Super heavy, sorry. Woo. And yeah, he was a boxer. All of us are boxers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting goose pimples because boxing is something we enjoy. So Sebastian, so were you taught Sebastian first, or you met Sebastian there, or?
No, repeat the question again. I was just paying a little attention to my lesson.
Okay. No, I'm asking if you brought Sebastian into the program, you trained him, you met him there.
No, Carriacou had their own Carriacou connection. So they would have the coach, someone who was coaching up there. I was involved in Grenada. So we had Grenada Carriacou, which we used to make competitive between the both islands. So I was in Grenada and he was in Carriacou. So he was doing his thing up there to become Carriacou champion. I was doing my thing to become Grenada champion. And then what we normally do is have box up and boxing tournament where we get Grenada box against Carriacou, and so we determine, who's going to represent the national team.
Okay, so let me ask Sebastian now then. And I see the baby's getting a little cranky. Maybe the baby want to be in the spotlight, but let me get Sebastian the spotlight first. Sebastian, welcome. And I apologize for saying basketball when I meant to be talking about boxing. And Sebastian, you look like what we will call the archetype of a boxer, whereas Joel is very slender. So I guess you're different weight categories. We're not hearing you. Maybe turn your volume up.
Mic up.
I know you're unmuted, but we're still not hearing you.
Yeah, we hearing you.
It could be the volume on your device, because we were hearing you before.
And I guess it's a smartphone, yeah, but the phone not acting smart.
Be careful, Mister. The man is a heavier weight than you, eh?
Yeah, he have a lot of work to do to hit me. You gotta run around the ring.
Across the sea, he must have a long reach, because I know reach is an important thing in boxing.
Yeah,
Sebastian, we're still not hearing you. Sebastian, maybe you should go out and come back in.
Yeah, so while we wait on Sebastian, so yeah, I'm just gonna keep going and giving some history on me. Yeah, to say that boxing is a very disciplined sport. Mm-hmm. It teaches you a lot how to, self-motivate, because what made me a champion is that I used to take a lot of negative things that people tell me, mm-hmm. and turn it to positive. I used to love, I love criticism. I love when people criticize me.
Right.
That used to be my biggest motivation, when people criticize me. So I never, at no point in time, used to feel pressure or be under pressure, because I love the criticism. The criticism just make me get stronger and just want to, it gives me energy. It gives me an appetite.
That's how it should be. That's how I know myself. When somebody says I can't do it, I'll do it to show them I can. And we lost. Sebastian is gone.
No. Maybe he'll try and get back in.
Let's try and get back in. So in the meantime, then let me just show, because I wanted Sebastian to talk a little bit before we start going into pictures. So if Sebastian comes back, you sent me lots of nice pictures. And the thing is, I remember there was a time when Grenada was upset. We were obsessed with boxing and bodybuilding.
Boxing actually was one of actually it's a top sport, but now we have athletics giving us the competition at the top. Yeah. but we were at the top. We were at the top because boxing we never went to tournament nowhere around the world and don't come back with a medal.
Right.
And which athletics used to go and come back without.
Right.
So we always used to come back with a medal. But you see, because of the people in charge, you would have somebody from athletics who's in the Olympic Association, somebody from netball who's in the Olympic Association, somebody from basketball is in the Olympic Association. So these sports tend to get most of the attention because we don't have somebody from boxing in the Olympic Association.
You didn't have an administrator in there, yeah.
So less attention being paid to the sport that been doing so well. So most of the time we've been fighting for ourselves.
And I'm sorry, but I know my brother loved boxing and bodybuilding. I remember, but this is a little bit before you, in the 80s. Boxing and bodybuilding was it.
Yeah.
And Sebastian's trying to come back in. But so you first you were getting in trouble in school. And is it a teacher that saw you and
No, there was a day that I took on about 5 guys.
Ooh.
And I injured all 5 of them.
Ooh.
And the police had to get involved.
Ooh.
With the parents come to the school, and the news was all over down the road. And there's one of the boxer, and he's like, why every time we always hear you in a fight, or you do somebody this, or you chop somebody, or you... He said, so if you like fighting so much, why you don't come to the gym where you could fight and nobody do you anything? And I was like, so you think I'm afraid? I ain't afraid. And he said, well, in the evening time, wait for me by the road, and I will take you to the gym. And I took half day from school, actually, to go and wait for him. I was waiting hours for him.
That is
and
impressive.
from that day, I've been in the gym, and I never turned back, because I just like fighting. And then when first thing I walk inside in the gym, he introduced me to the coach. The coach name was Mr. Norbert Grant. And he asked me, he said, you could dance? And I said, yes. He said, you like fighting? And I said, yes. He said, well, those two is husband and wife.
So before Sebastian is back, but before we go to Sebastian, I need to ask you, what division you fought in?
In lightweight and light welterweight.
Like, okay. And what's
actually I fought in all other different weights that was out of my category. It doesn't sometimes my coach used to bring me to a tournament and I'm a lightweight. And if they only have a welterweight available, he would still tell me fighting.
Okay.
Because I was that
good. You're ferocious.
Yeah.
And what's your reach? I know that's important in boxing.
I'm 5'8". But for me, it didn't matter whether the guy is big, whether they're short, whether they're tall, because I was very skillful, very good in my feet, very quick hand, and very energetic. A lot of energy. I never used to tire. So.
Okay. So Sebastian is back. Sebastian.
Hi, you're hearing me now?
Oh, welcome.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I don't understand.
Oh, yeah. Joel's baby is wanting the spotlight. That's what you get from a boxer's baby. He's always ready to go.
Yeah.
Sebastian,
and his name is Tyson.
His name is Tyson. I'm looking for him.
Yeah.
In about 10 years?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Sebastian,
tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from Carriacou. I didn't know Carriacou had active boxers. I remember bodybuilders, so Lendo and those guys. There was a boxer too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, well,
you were established
Carriacou, and not forgetting Petit Martinique, Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
Yes, I can't forget Petit
Martinique. I must say that Grenada, 2 of Grenada present boxers are born Petit Martiniquans at this point in time.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
that is good. That is good.
Yeah, so we are the twin island of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Going back, I started way back in 1983 when I had my first local match in Carriacou. I was introduced to the sport by a former boxer and who coached me, that's Joe Adams, way back in 1980s and 1983 when I did my first local bout, which I come victorious. And I went on to represent Grenada for the very first time in 1991 at the OECS Championship in St. Vincent. And I had some successes there. I did not win the gold, but nonetheless, I participated and make myself proud.
Yes.
And make Grenada proud. And after my boxing years, well, I would have went on to represent Grenada in the heavyweight and super heavyweight category. I was Caribbean champion.
What year?
In 1999.
Okay.
I was the Caribbean champion. I participated, I represented Grenada at the Commonwealth Games, Pan American Games, and the other Central American Games. And after my boxing career, I turned to coaching. I went into coaching and I endeavored to develop the sport in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And so I developed myself, and I went on to, and now in 2015, I became an IBA certified 3-star boxing coach. And
I am
thereon,
very happy.
I continued.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you very much. And then I went on now to be a national coach, and I had the opportunity of going to competition with Joel Lewis. We went to the Pan American Games, got qualified, and we went on to the Pan American Games and many other games. We represented Grenada together, and so I had the opportunity to go to many countries.
So are you now on the national the body, the boxing, Grenada boxing body?
No, I'm not an executive member of the body. I'm just a general member of the Boxing Association as an ordinary member.
Oh, okay.
And so um, from time to time we travel. I travel with the team as a boxing coach or as one of the other coaches, and we go out there and represent. But in Little Carriacou, I must say that we have mixed great strides in the sport. We have many Caribbean champions right from Carriacou here, training out of Carriacou and going on to represent Grenada. We have Caribbean champions, and we have boxers that are meet the standard to represent Grenada internationally. I'm very much pleased to say that we captured a number of gold medals at the Caribbean level. And Carriacou Petit Martinique has two boxers that represent Grenada. That is Rufus Clement and his brother Raphael Clement from the tiny island of Petit Martinique.
The Clements seem to be very good athletes, because I had Martin Clement, who was a track and field. I'm sure they might be related.
Yes, they certainly are related.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where is your gym? You're in Carriacou. You're focusing Carriacou. Do you also have a gym in Petit Martinique?
No, we don't have a gym in Petit Martinique. So the young ones who are interested, especially when we travel to Petit Martinique from time to time to do training session there.
Okay.
And those who go into secondary school, they take lessons in Carriacou. They train more frequently and get the opportunity to compete at local tournaments. And conveniently, these two brothers would have moved to the mainland to live. And so they continue the sport, and now they are representing Grenada at regional tournaments.
Very nice. Congratulations. So,
thank you.
Jewel, I didn't ask you. You're from St. David's, Wester Hall. I'm sorry, I didn't get to say that. And Sebastian is from Leicester, Carriacou?
Leicester, Carriacou.
Leicester, Carriacou. And your gym, Sebastian, is in Leicester?
No, well, I do my training in Hillsborough.
In Hillsborough.
I mean, we are so much of at a disadvantage because boxing doesn't really have a facility. Even nationally, we don't have a national gym, and so our sport is tremendously at a disadvantage. Our boxers do not have the leisure of training consistently in a boxing ring, whether it's Carriacou or in Grenada. We are so much, that sport is so much of a disadvantage, and it's an opportunity for the executive or the administrators of the sport to see it fit to call upon the authorities to make good on a facility for the sport of boxing. But despite the limitation in terms of a facility for the sport, we have done well. We would have participated, got the opportunity to participate and qualify in many of the international tournaments. And it will only be, the sky will only be our limit if we have those facilities to develop and enhance the sport.
Right. So, sorry, were you going to say something else?
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna ask Joel, because I see, Joel, you send me pictures, and now I'm gonna share the pictures where you're training new athletes, new boxers. But I assume that was just you training them at home, and then the stadium had a place for you all to train, because the stadium has many rooms, the national stadium.
Yeah, the stadium has many rooms. We had approached them already for a place to train in the stadium, but apparently the coach who went and looked at it. I don't know what they saw fit in the room that they gave them, because I think they had a problem with the height and the size. But there was other areas that we could train, but they didn't want to make it available to us. So I think that's how we had to end up not having a place in the stadium, because we weren't given where we was best suited for us to coach boxing.
Wow. So all this time we've been getting boxers just from home gyms.
Yeah, home gym. I train boxers who went on to be Caribbean champion. I train them in an open pasture. Not even having somewhere to hang up a punching bag to punch.
Wow.
I used to have to find rope and tie in the ceiling to hang a bag, and we train in the open in a pasture and grass sometimes. Most of the time when we're in fall, we can't even train.
Okay, I'm just gonna share the screen now to show some of the pictures you shared with me of you training young athletes. And I want to talk so that you're training women as well.
Yeah, we have women as well.
So this is one of your women training in the open, yes?
Yeah, because we don't have a gym.
This is the pasture in Wester Hall?
No, that's in Tantine.
Tantine. Oh, okay. And let me just get the next lady. Is you train, and this is where's
this is in my yard at my home.
Right. Congratulations. I mean, for being so persistent and even doing it when you don't have the facility to do it.
Yeah, if we had the facility, we would have done wonders.
You would have a big school.
Yeah, and we'd have quite a number of world champions.
Right. Grenada's been horning in medals from boxers that don't have the facility to train. This is unbelievable in this point in time. And that massive building there, and I know Carriacou in Lauriston, you have a stadium. So there isn't a place there either, Sebastian, for you to box?
No, the indoor is not the size is not adequate. We same situation. We do it out in the yard, in the grass, in the open field, and so there is so much hazards and limitation when it comes to that. The element of the weather is a total distraction. And so we're just hoping that something will be able to be realized for a facility for the sport of boxing, and for serious administrators for the sport of boxing to be forthcoming.
I'm absolutely appalled, and I'm glad we're having this show, because we want to romance Grenada with the people that did all these things to give us the ghost pimples and chanters, give us the good feeling, jumping, yeah, Grenada, and then we don't have facilities for them to train. Because I remember, I wasn't there from the 90s, but I remember in the 80s how excited we were when we got those medals and the boxers came back. And we listened to it on the radio and all that stuff.
Yeah, correct.
And you continue to bring Grenada goodies, and they continue to ignore you. But I want to ask you, is that maybe that could be one of the edges you have, because you train outside in the all terrain with various elements? Could that be what gives you an edge?
Well, yeah, it gives us an edge in terms of, because we try to stay focused. As I said, we try to take the negative things and make it positive. So we know that, okay, we got to go to America to fight. We know that America have all the elements and the facilities that they need. So they're going to be up there. So we, bearing that in mind, we know where we got to take our level at while we outside. So it's a sort of motivation. I wouldn't say that's the edge, because if we do have some of the facilities, that's where the technical and tactical part comes in, which is where they used to be one step ahead of us. Because of the technical and tactical part, which they have facilities to with different things to train with, and we didn't have. So they had just that one at the edge. But physically and mentally, we used to always be prepared.
Right. So you're able to tough it out, sort of thing.
Yes.
But it would be nice because most athletes now have the most cushy accommodation. They get you know, even in training, they have physiotherapists, they have, you know, whatever they need, water, soap, sponge, like, and
about for example, in Cuba, when I used to train in Cuba, they used to send me to train in Cuba as a national boxer. Sebastian was down a couple of times with us as well. And we would have noticed when you're training with the Cuban national team, that's why they were the best in the world. Because while they are training, they have about 6 doctors present at hand with about 10 to 15 coaches. So everyone has a different path to play. So if Sebastian might be the person with a better technique, he's going to work technique. If another coach is the better one with physical, he's going to do physical. So they had someone for everything. Now as to whereas we only had one person to try to give us everything which they don't have. So that was the sort of element that advantage that they had that we didn't. You know, because after they're done, they're gonna give them a doctor checkup, make sure this not hurting them, this not hurting them. Well, we just had to go home with pain and sort it out for ourselves.
Right. I can imagine that. And that. Whew.
And then again, they don't work. They don't work. The country support them. Them only get up, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train. We used to have to go out, like for me, I used to have to go make a hard day work in construction field from 8 in the morning to 4 in the evening and then go training. And those are things that used to make us have we body a little bit more toned down and worn down than it should. So we have to really think about managing our body in order to get it prepared because boxing is a contact sport. So I think we did a very, very good job in terms of not having the things available to us as other big countries do.
I mean, I am dumbfounded because I know in Grenville there was in the park, they said there was a gym there and boxers, bodybuilders. I don't know what's required in terms of a gym facility for a boxer, because you both talk about the space. Is it the height?
The height. Okay, so Sebastian could answer that part.
Okay. Well, yes. So you would need a facility where you can get to hang your bags and your speedballs and so on. So you need something maybe about at least a 10, 15 feet high in height that you can have overhead structure set up. And then you need a place. I mean, the ideal place to have is enough room where you can have a small boxing ring. So you can have your boxers train technically into the boxing ring consistently on a daily basis. So they get used to that structure. It is very much at a disadvantage when you don't even have a ring or you don't have the opportunity to practice in a ring and going into that cushion and facility for the very first time to face an opponent who come throwing punches at you. You have to have some level of guts and determination and bad mind, as we'll see, to really stomach or really stem those blows. And so this is one of the things that worked for Grenada. We had mind and strong mind and physical strength. But when it comes to the technical aspect of it, knowing how to walk yourself around in the ring, it's a different ball game. And
I think even lighting, because those boxing games, the matches I see, the lighting's kind of dim. It's not the brightest.
Right. So you have to have proper lighting and the right equipment also, and the officials to officiate in a competition setting. If you don't have officials trained to train your boxers what to expect in a competition, most of the time you will find boxers going out and compete and they're losing on technicality because they're not knowledgeable of the sport. So everything goes hand in hand, the infrastructure and the technical support.
So what's the association doing, the boxing body? What are you doing now? Do you have like a technical book? Because you don't have the ring.
We have a ring, but we don't have the facility set up the ring and keep it in safekeeping away from the elements of the weather.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. You don't have the facility for a ring. So when we have, did Grenada ever host a competition though?
In 2017, I believe.
So where did they host it?
At the youth center, which is it's a public facility that once you have an event, you have to break down and move out and things like that. So it's not a facility where you can house permanent house. They can house you permanently.
Okay, where's the youth center in Tantine?
It's in Montrouge.
Montrouge. That okay. Okay, so hopefully we're going to be able to raise awareness. I know today is a European champion, and Jules said to me,
"Yeah,
I gotta see it." So maybe we'll have to continue this because and let me just run through quickly because you both are champions. So I'd like the opportunity to talk to you again. Because our time it's about 12 minutes to 3, and I want to keep my word with Jewel.
Okay.
I said Jewel, but it's my tongue. I mean Jewel.
Yeah,
Jewel.
Yeah. A lot of people say as you do. A lot of people say as you do.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm very happy. I'm glad. I was introduced to you, Joel, by a lawyer who said to me, I told him about my show, and he said, you have to talk to Joel. He's been a Grenadian champion. He's not getting the dues he deserves.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be brought forward. And then you said you brought Sebastian, which is a plus for me because Carriacou is my heart.
Yeah,
and
right. It's a pleasure.
Peter Patrick's in the story. I feel so all-encompassing. I feel very excited right now, and I hope we're going to get people starting to pay more attention. We will talk one-on-one, and I'll see how I can help get something going, because there are lots of empty buildings. I look at even right in the middle of Tongue, I see so many empty buildings.
But who own them?
Well, these people can list it out at a very reasonable rate. Grenadians love boxing. We love boxing.
Sorry. We used to have boxing in Tantine, and when we have boxing in Tantine, there are 3 bars, and there are never enough drinks in the bars.
But boxing is a world sport.
Yeah.
And it don't have a season.
No.
Anytime.
Yes.
That's what's exciting about it. I'm just gonna quickly show the pictures you sent me, Joel. And next time we chat, I'd like you and Sebastian back, and Sebastian can also show us some of the pictures.
Yeah, I would like to get your number so I can send you pictures, because I'm proud to say that I do a school program. At the moment now, we are doing an outreach community program. So we go into the community every 2 weeks. We go to a different community. Well, I do that, and so every Saturday I have boxing class for from 7 years up to about 12, 13 years. So every Saturday I dedicate my Saturday from 9 in the morning to 12. I have my regular boxing class. So last Saturday gone, yesterday I had my class, and on every Saturday I have as much between 10 to 15 kids coming and getting the love and a passion for the sport of boxing.
I am happy to hear you say that. I am so excited because the last time I was in Carriacou in 2019, I saw so many idle young men. I didn't see much women, but I saw a lot of men who looked like they needed some kind of channeling. I'm also involved. I don't know, you might have heard about the Hillsborough Town Football Club.
Oh, yes, I know about Hillsborough Town Football Club.
I'm on the board, and we
What's your name again?
My name is Cindy Ann Lewis Walcott. Yes, I will send my contact to you through Jewel.
Okay.
And we started an outreach program. Well, I didn't start yet, I think September, but we just made an outreach program to get kids and so on involved, because to me in the 70s when I was growing up, I spent about 2 years in Carriacou. I went to school in Hillsborough. It was like a place where everything jived. I didn't see idle people. Everybody was occupied doing something. it was lively, and I see Carriacou now, and it looks like especially Hillsborough, it's like a ghost town.
What caused that now is a new generation, and it's all about volunteerism. I mean, back in those days, a lot of people was volunteering themselves, and the time to pass knowledge on. But now the culture has changed, the generation has changed, and we see a degradation of values in the community. And so we have to work 10 times as hard to really keep the community together. So I'm doing my part because I believe the opportunity that I got, if I had the facility, I'm sure I would have been an Olympic champion. And I tell myself I am determined and destined to give that opportunity to those who come after me. And that is what I am endeavoring to do.
I bow down to you and to Joel. I'm so happy we met. Joel, it's my lawyer, Neil Noel, that told me. So I guess we share the same lawyer. That told me how you know how much we need to recognize you all as boxers, as athletes.
And Cynthia, just to make note, Grenada has made a tremendous stride in terms of personal development in the sport of boxing. We have 2 IBA certified coaches, which is myself and Joel. We have 2 referee judges that is IBA certified, which is Lyle Bolin and Stefan Sylvester. And we have Dr. Deborah Stevens John, who is an IBA certified medical doctor. She would have gone to all IBA international tournament, Olympic, World Championship, WSB, APB, just name it, all over the world to represent Grenada as an IBA official.
We gotta fix this up.
So we have a lot of things to fix, and we definitely are pushing ahead to get it fixed.
Yes. And keep up the good work. I'm gonna try and see how I could set this up again, a part 2. Joel, we run out of time, so we won't be able to show you your pictures today. But when we set up again, we're gonna start with pictures. Is that all right?
Okay, that's okay.
Thank you very, very much for being here and giving me ghost pimples. And I want to explore a lot more, and let's see how much we can do, how much awareness we can raise, and how we can get Grenadians, especially Grenadians overseas, to come to the bar to get a facility for boxing.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Enjoy the show coming up.
Okay,
thank you.
Bye-bye now.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.